Relax, guys. It's just a shirt. What's up, guys? My name is RedTech, and welcome to RedTech Stuff. Today I have this thing. This is the Raspberry Pi 3 Model B. And for those of you who don't know what a Raspberry Pi is, I don't blame you. But it's a tiny little computer. I mean, look at this. This is nuts. It's a tiny little computer the size of a credit card. And it's got everything you would expect from a computer. It's got headphone jack, right here, unlike the new MacBook. Yeah, and it's got an HDMI, which is what you use to connect it to your TV. You've got a micro USB, this GPIO thing, which I'm gonna have to research. That's like if you know how to solder and you can like solder stuff to that. Don't hold me to that because I don't know much about the GPIO headers right there. And you also have 4 USB ports and Ethernet port as well. And yeah, my kit from Vilros, I don't know if you can see right there, the little text, it's hard to see against my blue shirt, but my kit came with this clear case and a couple other things, including the heat sinks, which are on the processors right here and right here. And those actually, when you're running super intensive things on your little computer here, it makes sure that it doesn't overheat the processors and your computer doesn't die, which is nice. And my kit also came with some of the things you'll need, which it's kind of tangled right now, but I have a wall outlet to micro USB right here, and that goes into the micro USB port on the Pi, and that's what you need for power. And my kit also came with an HDMI cord, which is kind of nice. And you're probably asking, what do I use mine for? What can you do with this? Well, you can do so many things. What I like to do is I actually turn mine into a retro game system, kind of a DIY NES Classic, so I can play all kinds of games. And in fact, come with me and I'll show you how it works. Okay, so we're ready to boot up our Pi. So obviously you're going to need a micro SD card with the operating system, that little tiny thing. If you buy a kit, it'll come with this thing. But I'll show you how to do operating systems in another video, but only if you guys want me to, so let me know, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, we're ready to boot up our Pi. So the first thing we're going to need, it's over here, is an HDMI cable. And this one came with my kit, but I already had one, so you can just use any HDMI cable that you have. If you don't have one, then go to your local electronics store. I like Fry's, and they're bound to have one. Yes, Fry's is the name of electronics store. It's also a food. That makes me hungry. Anyway, we're going to also need, for the gaming operating system, which we're using, called RetroPie, we're going to need a USB game controller, F310 Logitech. I got this for like $15 at Best Buy. Didn't really set me back that much, and it's a really great controller. I use it for my computer too. But it'll work with the Pi natively, like with no drivers or anything, so couldn't be simpler. Plug it in. Do I have it the wrong way? Oh, bother. There we go. And yeah, if you're using a different operating system, now would be the time to plug in your USB keyboard and mouse. Or if you have one of those Logitech wireless receivers, like I use for my computer, then you can just plug that in and it will work fine. And another controller option, where is it? Here it is, would be this, and you're probably already wondering, you're like, RedTech, what the heck is this? This is a GameCube adapter, which is for PC and Mac and Wii U. So you can play Smash Bros. With GameCube controllers. And this will work fine with the Pi, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I haven't tested it yet, but I'm pretty sure it would work fine. Just plug it in, and plug in your GameCube controller, and it'll work great. And the last thing that we're going to need to do is plug in our power. Now this is a micro USB. And just plug it in, and you should see a light. And when you see a light, you'll know it's booting up properly. Ah, see that? We're golden. I'll come back to you guys when it's booted up. Alright guys, so I'm using just a Elgato like game capture thing to capture this, and this is what you get when you boot up RetroPie, which I believe I didn't say earlier is an open source operating system that allows you to play classic games. So I have a couple loaded on here, and first let's go into settings. You can change all kinds of stuff. You can add Bluetooth stuff, like if you have a Bluetooth game controller that you want to add. You can add themes, and you can add more emulators and stuff from here, and change the audio. And let me turn down the sound on my TV there. And let's just jump into one of the games. I have a couple on here. It plays up to GameCube. Like if you can overclock your Raspberry Pi. I don't know how to do that, but if you can overclock it enough so that it'll run GameCube, it'll run GameCube, which is pretty cool. So we're just gonna go to Game Boy Color, and I have Pokemon Prism, which is a fan-made Pokemon game, and we're just gonna boot into that. And it'll give you this weird like text thing. There'll be a lot of like coder text when it's booting up, but then it'll be fine. So it's just booting up, and I'll show you that this does, or I'll give you another example of a game in a minute. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. Well, that doesn't matter. That's suspicious. But this is pretty awesome. Pokemon running on a computer that's the size of a credit card. That's just mind-blowing. And a computer that I set up, and that's just amazing. And you guys can get a Raspberry Pi online, and there's hundreds of things you can do with it. I'll leave a couple links in the description for projects that you can do that are really, really cool with this thing. And yeah, I'm just going to play a little Pokemon. Okay, so we are back at this menu, and we're just gonna go in here and go to Pokemon Liquid Crystal to show it also runs Game Boy Advance games. If you couldn't tell already, I really like Pokemon. So, Pokemon Liquid Crystal. I got my character Zephyr up here. He's just chilling in Violet City. And yeah, this runs all kinds of different games. And yeah, that's RetroPie. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it. And if you guys want to see more Raspberry Pi stuff, more projects, how to set up RetroPie, how to get the operating systems onto this tiny little card that I have in my hand right here, then let me know down below, and I will most certainly do it, because this would not be a channel without you guys. So yeah, stay techie, Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys later.